To my channel. Today we'll discuss about Playwright versus Selenium. Why companies preferring Playwright over Selenium? Okay. In this case, we'll differentiate entire Selenium versus Playwright using feature or area. Like we'll go with architecture initially. So Selenium, when it comes to Selenium, it uses WebDriver protocol. See, in Selenium, we used to get the drivers, we used to download the drivers for Chromium driver, Firefox driver, and other drivers, right? So with that driver only, we can communicate with the Selenium things like the driver.manage or driver.switch to frames, driver.go to like navigate functions and all. So with respect to Playwright, here we don't have any these drivers. We can directly communicate with the browser engine. Like it has a architecture of WebSocket thing. So using that web socket protocol, we can directly communicate with the browser. Okay. And when it comes to the synchronization, like whenever we try to, we'll discuss this point. Okay. Whenever we try to locate an element, in that element, if there is a re-rendering or if there is any loading issues or it takes time to load that, we need to incur manually implicit weights or explicit weights, right? So here in Playwright, we don't have that. We don't have to incur those weights. Why? Because Playwright itself has a auto weighting. Means, suppose if I perform dot click in a Playwright, it will check for the element whether it is available in the DOM and it is active stable. Then only it can perform the actions. Okay. This is the second point. And like modern web application support. Uh, so recently you have been seeing companies were using this React.js, Node.js, and something newer programming language for developing web application. But before, when we consider Java Selenium, so there were only HTML pages, and in JavaScript, using JavaScript, we are trying to do the operations. So in that cases, Selenium is widely used nowadays. With the usage of AI and React.js and other technologies, it has been changed drastically, and we are trying to find out the complex applications easily. And if you want to deal with that applications, Playwright is very useful. Like I said before, here modern apps whether developers are developing using React, Angular, Vue. These are all modern apps developing based on Bureau languages. And we have a browser context. This is nothing but it's like an remember it's like an incognito window. So in Selenium, when we have to incur this browser context, we may need extra separate browser instances, and it has some utilities to do that. But in Playwright, directly, if you specify dot context, it will give me the browser incognito window. In that, we can differentiate the users. Like if I have a admin user and login, or like a customer user, so you can differentiate. I can log in via admin and user at the same time, like parallelly. Like we have parallel execution also here. So you may have seen if your developer test scripts in Selenium, you may have seen this parallel execution. It requires grid to configure the machines and to run the parallel all test cases one by one parallel. But in Playwright, using the config file, whatever available in the Playwright, you can directly do that parallel execution. Uh, yeah, and driver management. Using you may already know WebDriver.manage and in Java Selenium. Using that, we can download the latest versions. But here we don't have any that type of scenarios in Playwright. And API mocking and network interception. Suppose If I want to mock exact the API, let's say API is a middleware, right? To get the details of a particular user details or login details, something. So here we have a future of writing our own API data. Like we have objects, we can directly write the that data. Using Playwright, we can have this mocking concept. Whenever when it comes to the Selenium, it is like it is a actually not doesn't support, but it supports like a medium amount. Like we have to input all the libraries and REST API things and all. It is like a huge setup for Selenium. Um, yeah, and debugging support. Debugging support also mostly dependent on external tools, as I said before, utilities and all. But in Playwright, we have a trace viewer where we can show entire steps, whatever has been occurring from start to end. We can go that, we can see console logs, we can do the network logs, what is happening in that thing. And exactly at the same time, we can have a time travel, like from 0 seconds to the up to the test execution time, we can see what is happening exactly in Playwright. And built-in features. This is also similar, as I said before. Libraries, external libraries, we have to import many things already included in the Playwright. This is another advantages. Stability. This one also we have discussed. Synchronization. Like as I said, there is an element that is loading continuously, but we have to wait for some time to get that element. But in Playwright, we can directly go for that element and we can specify only that thing like click action or fill action. So based on the action, it will check for that element is visible, then only it can perform the fill or click action. CI/CD integration. This is another important. It's also Java Selenium. We can also integrate with the CI/CD and do all the things, but it requires a huge amount of time and maybe flaky test uh, means tests will be passing at sometimes and tests will be failing at sometimes. This can be occurs in CI/CD, but in Playwright it's like a lightweight and you can do all parallel testing within that specific execution time. Ecosystem is like as we are developing the same from years, Java Selenium has more advantages with respect to ecosystem, but its Playwright is developing recently on right. It has modern things. Um, yeah, and we come to the three last points. Cross-browser testing. Cross-browser testing in the sense like if you want to run all the codes or simultaneously on the Firefox, Chromium, WebKit, this cross-browser testing is like incurring all the browsers simultaneously. But in Playwright, we can have directly we will get those in config file. Using those config files, we can execute all the cross-browser testing. Maintenance cost. So when it comes to the Selenium, higher maintenance will be there. And in Playwright, it's like a lower framework maintenance support. Industry standard. Like Selenium has been using still, and it has multiple advantages, and it has been widely accepted in many enterprise applications. But its Playwright is now rapidly growing, and it is like adapting in modern automation. So if you consider all these points, interviewer may ask, other than all these points, or whatever available in the YouTube or internet, what is the main advantage of Playwright than Selenium? He may ask like this. Then he should highlight the main points. As I said before, it has network interception, which is a lackage of Selenium. Okay, and it has um, reduced the higher maintenance cost than Selenium. Okay. If you mention these 2 points, interview will be succeeded and interview will impress with your answers. Please make sure of these points as well. Okay. And please subscribe my channel and support me for more videos like this. Thank you.